Alright guys, today we have more PlayStation news, rumors, and leaks to go over and cover, so we're just going to dive right into it, starting with Naughty Dog. Once again, we have an update on the long-rumored Last of Us 2 Remastered. Apparently, on the LinkedIn page of Naughty Dog's lead outsource artist, he says that he's been overseeing the production of new assets for The Last of Us Part 1 and The Last of Us 2 Remastered. That's exactly what he calls it. And yeah, this is the first evidence we have directly from a developer that lets us know this is something that is coming. Now, I don't think this is surprising to anybody. I think a lot of people would have thought that The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered would have released by this point, but it seems like it's going to be on track for sometime next year. That's just speculation on my part, but you know, considering we're going to be at the halfway point of this generation, or 4 years into it, next year sounds like about the right time. But I don't know if this is something that people are going to be excited about. There's no word on whether or not this Last of Us Part 2 remaster is going to come with any more content, if it's going to have any type of DLC, if it's going to have that multiplayer, right? We're going to talk about that in just a moment. There's really no evidence of any of that. We're just hearing that The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered is in the works. So yeah, let me know if that's something you're going to be interested in on the PS5. And I also assume it's going to come to PC as well. But we do have another update on the Last of Us multiplayer game. And unfortunately, this is not a good update. And it really does sound like this game is either canceled or about to be canceled officially. So I came across this over on the Gaming Leaks and Rumors subreddit, where it says, according to viewer Anon, the Last of Us Factions game is now dead at Naughty Dog. So whilst responding to a tweet about the multiplayer Last of Us, viewer Anon claims that the game is dead at Naughty Dog. Viewer Anon is a film insider and sometimes even a gaming insider, as he was the first person to report on The Last of Us Part 3. And I believe he's reported on other things in the past, but he seems to have some kind of connection at Naughty Dog, as he's been feeding us different information. And it's worth noting a little bit more context here. If you look at this Twitter thread where he says this, it's basically somebody saying that, you know, we should just let go of this and move on because it seems like it's just not coming out. And if it ever does, it's going to be many years from now. And I guess he decided to kind of chime in and just let everybody know, like, yeah, this is dead. But to further back this up and to prove that this pretty much is the end of this multiplayer game, it's being reported here by PlayStation Lifestyle that hawk-eyed fans have noticed that The Last of Us multiplayer game's principal monetization designer has left Naughty Dog amid rumors of its cancellation. Previously an Epic Games veteran, Anders Howard joined the studio just 11 months ago and departed in September. There's a big question mark over the status of The Last of Us multiplayer, also known as Factions. The project's cancellation is reportedly all but confirmed. However, neither Naughty Dog nor Sony Interactive Entertainment have confirmed or denied these rumors. But yeah, to me, this, this confirms it. Between hearing from this insider that the project is dead and then seeing the principal monetization designer, somebody who was obviously going to be very vital to this live service project, seems like it's done. It's immensely disappointing. I've talked about this quite a bit this past week, so I'll keep it short here. All I'm going to say is that at this point, maybe the next best thing is, if we do get a Last of Us Part 3, maybe Naughty Dog can create Factions 2 and make it very similar to what they did with The Last of Us Factions. Let's make it a little bit bigger, a little bit better, more in-depth, but maybe don't get overly ambitious with it and try to turn it into a full-blown live service game, because at least if they end up doing that, we'll finally get that Factions 2 that I think a lot of fans were just hoping for. So yeah, pretty disappointing news overall, but we'll have to just remain patient and wait for Naughty Dog to give us some official updates here. But we are going to move on to the last topic here of the video, which talks once again about this rumored God of War Ragnarok expansion. This is something that we heard about, I believe, a couple months ago from the Snitch. He didn't really give us any details other than it's 60% complete, and it is DLC to God of War Ragnarok, but it kind of got a lot of people thinking, is this going to be like just, small DLC to kind of give us more to do with Ragnarok, or is this going to be something more substantial, something akin to Uncharted: The Lost Legacy or Spider-Man Miles Morales? Well, it says here a known insider has added some weight to the rumors of Santa Monica Studio working on a God of War Ragnarok DLC or expansion of sorts. Speculations of a Ragnarok-related release have been making the rounds since March, when Tyr voice actor Ben Prendergast teased another appearance of his character. In August, insider The Snitch says that DLC is in the works and it's about 60% complete. But now we also have viewer Anon chiming in here and talking about this God of War Ragnarok DLC. He replied to IGN saying the standalone expansion or half sequel has been described as glorified DLC, but as games take longer to develop, they could be the future of AAA game releases. He replies by saying IGN's bang on here. This is how you cut the gap between releases while also maybe letting greener teams work on the half sequel with established tools and support. Santa Monica Studio is working on new God of War stuff, and I wonder whether it will be Ragnarok DLC or a half sequel. And so, yeah, we are getting more confirmation here that Santa Monica is working on more God of War stuff, but he specifically is focused on this DLC / expansion and not talking about the next mainline God of War title. It's also worth noting that Santa Monica Studio has a separate team that is being led by Cory Barlog, and they're working on a new AAA IP for PS5, and they've been working on it for quite some time. I think the hope is maybe we'll see it officially revealed sometime next year. But yeah, this to me is something that would be very welcome. I think Sony's been doing an incredible job with these kind of half sequels, as they're being called here, where they're not on the same level as a full sequel. They're not going to take 5 or 6 years to develop. They're not going to have as much content. They're not going to be as, big in terms of size, scope, and scale, but they are going to offer something that is more robust and more meaningful than just, a DLC. So them wanting to do that with God of War makes a lot of sense. I think it worked out again really well with Miles Morales and Uncharted: The Lost Legacy, and I'm sure Sony has done others as well. So yeah, there you go. We have pretty much more confirmation here that this is in fact something Santa Monica Studio is working on. But that's going to do it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you found it informative. Leave it a like if you did. Subscribe if you're new. Hit the bell notification icon, and feel free to share the video out on top of all that. But until next time, guys, take care.